But that one
Don't talk so this. If you have done, send it. Otherwise, if I can help you, tell me. I don't want to hear this. You know, this happened, that happened.
will do.
Interesting. Okay. You will see everything in YouTube. I'm recording this. I'm going to post it in YouTube. You can watch that video. Do it. Don't worry, Tolomaki.
Do this now?
No. You're not doing it right now.
कसरी गर्ने मैले बुझेन
Oh, and
and the राख्ने हो सर हो okay then I will do.
yes. So please don't write. Who's writing?
Sir, unnet गर्नै नदिनु न.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, this is a mute, please. I am not going to tell you that now. Just send your work. So yes, or and the, we use the for particular one, particular noun. You know which one we use the. If you don't know which one we're talking about, we use or and n. And beside that, there are certain nouns in which we always use the, because we take them as particular ones, like name of rivers, name of any kind of water bodies, sea, ocean. We use the. Name of newspapers, holy book. We use the. Name of famous buildings. We use the. Directions, heavenly bodies, superlative, like tallest, highest, we use the. So these are the places we always use the. And besides that, when we use o and n in the things that we are not sure which one it is, we are going to listen to the first sound of that noun. When we are using o and n, we are going to listen to the first sound, not look, listen, and then decide, is it vowel sound, that is o, I, e, or is it consonant sound, that is ko, kha, ga, ga. If it is vowel sound, that is OI, the starting sound is vowel, you are going to write N. If the starting sound is consonant, that is Kokagaga sound, you are going to write O. So that's how we do these article works. And there are other exercises too. I'm going to scroll slowly. And in the video, you can pause it and do these exercises. When I put it in YouTube, and you can send me these works, you can get tokens for them.
Sorry, to the माथि गर्नु.
You are going to get the video, Melissa. Don't try to take the screenshot. I don't have time for that. I have to cover a lot of things.
Sir, and the no. And the. I am doing that.
You are not going to do now. We don't have time for that. I'm going to post this video in YouTube.
Sir, 1 minute. I will.
I'm putting this. Okay, Akash. Okay.
I will screenshot. Sir,
don't screenshot, Akash. Don't screenshot. I don't have time for that. म तपाईलाई screenshot गर्नको लागि रोकेर राख्नको लागि time छैन. Please take this from YouTube. I'm going to put it in YouTube. When it is in YouTube, take it from there. Pause the video, do your exercise, whatever you have to do.
Pratik sir, I have that you have give us in for class that paper no I have.
Sir, हिजो तपाईले त्यो फटाउनु भएको थियो नि त्यो त क्लास शो गरेछ नि.
Yes, I have already again shared. I don't know what happened. I've shared again. There are other videos. Check them.
Sir, give link, okay? YouTube link dinu hai.
Sir.
Okay, I'm going.
मैले बुझ्नलाई त्यो भिडियो हेरेको त ब्याट्री लो भयो.
Sir, English assignment ma YouTube ko link dinu hai.
Okay, please mute and let me continue. So after that, we talked about how using while and when the word is long, you use. Yes.
मेरो ब्याट्री सिर्फ 12% छ. म 5 मिनेट पछि जोइन गर्छु ल.
Kushi, listen. Before you go, I just want to tell you, you don't have enough token in both the subjects. In math, you have 0. So please work to get the tokens and.
Okay, I have sent that the work, check and give it.
In one, you have 2 tokens. In another, you have 0. So please work. Yes, and you can come after 5 minutes. So while is used when the work is long. Mohan was working while Maya was listening to radio. So if there is a work that is going on, you use while in those cases. When a certain work happened, a short work happens, then during a short work, something happens, then you write when. For a short time, while means a long period of time, okay? So that is one thing that I taught you, and we put it in conversation, and we did these exercises. Then we did punctuations. In punctuation, it is always important that you get the sense
Sir,
of how these people are talking. And if you can get that sense of conversation, you can use this inverted commas correctly, and you can find out where the question mark should go and everything. If there is confusion in who is saying what, then your punctuation will be mistake. Okay, so please try to figure out which person is saying what, and the conversation going on. So Asbi, what is it?
छ नि त्यो के भन्छ हामीले त्यो हाम्रो त्यो के वाला के वाइल एसआइडी त्यस्तो त्यस्तो छ नि एक्स्ट्राहरू गर्नु हाम्रो कुपन पाउनलाई इङ्ग्लिस बुकमा त्यस्तो हैन तपाईले पनि एक्जाममा दिनुहुन्छ नि त्यतिखेर चाहिँ त्यसको एक्जाम्पलहरू लेखिदिनु भनेको नत्र हामी कन्फ्युज भएर गर्ने न
No, that's what I'm saying. I am not, maybe I'll give the examples, maybe I don't give the examples, but you should know the concept, when we are using it and how we are using it. So if you know that much, you'll be able to do it. But I won't give you a special structure kind of sentence. I may not. So the examples may come or may not, but if you know how to use and where to use, that will be important. That's the fact that I want to focus on. I want you to learn the skills. So example, no example, you will be able to do it. And I will take care of, if I'm giving something very complex, I'll give you the example. Don't worry. So again, this is one more article exercise that you can do. If you haven't done already, if you have already done and submitted, I don't want you to do it again. I will get broken by doing the same work again and again. So this is another where we use when, and this is where we talked about one work has already finished, and then we talk about the that started after the first work. So the first work will be written like had already written. The program started, Maya switched on the television. Which happened first? The program had already started. So you're going to use this had already started kind of phrase to talk about the work that has already finished. So the program had already started when Maya switched on the television. When these two works are written in the same sentence and one happened before another, the first work that happened should be written like this: had already happened, had already started, had already done, had already gone, had already jumped. So the first word will be written as had already. So you have to figure out which is first, and you're going to write it accordingly. Okay, burned down, the firemen arrived, the building had already burned down. And you're going to use verb 3 with had, eh? So that should be important. I don't want you to write, see, when there is went, if you're going to write here had already, you are going to write had already gone. So ate will be eaten, had already eaten. I ate my breakfast, I went to school will be before I went to school, I had already eaten my breakfast. So had already eaten, verb 3 with had. Okay, this thing that we did. And if you want to see this again, I'm telling you, I put it in YouTube and you can watch it again. So next thing that we did was until. So until and when is same, right? When when they had already reached home means घर पुगेर the meal began. So त्यसपछि चाहिँ meal began भयो, right? But until talks about before that time. When ले चाहिँ त्यो भएपछि के भयो भन्छ भने until ले चाहिँ त्योभन्दा अगाडि के भयो. So until they had already reached home, the meal did not पुग्नभन्दा अगाडि did not begin. पुगिसकेपछि the meal began. So this is the thing that you need to understand in until and when. One talks about what happened after that time. One talks about what happened before that time. So before that time, the meal did not begin. After that time, the meal began. So that's how the difference between when and until is. So when you use until in place of when, you need to change certain verbs into negative, because until then it has not happened. When it happened, that happened means until then the thing has not happened. So that's how you're going to do when and until. This is going to be important too. When you use until, you will have to change certain things into negative. So this is another exercise where you just have to decide whether you write do or not. This exercise is completely do exercise, do and cross only. There is no o and an involved in this exercise. If you want to do this, you can do this too. So then after that, we came to grammar. It was also grammar, but then we started our true grammar lesson first. part of the speech. So we talked about how English language started, how it become popular and all that things. And then we talked about how letter combines and become words, and word combines and become sentences, and how they need to be meaningful. You cannot just combine any word in any way. They need to be meaningful and grammatically correct for everyone to understand it. So that's how we did it. And when we write sentence, there are 8 types of words in English: nouns, name, verbs, work, things that we do, verb. Adjectives means something that describes noun, tells us about noun, how, what kind of noun it is. Those are called adjectives. Adverbs are words that talks about how the work was done, what kind of work, how was the work done, not what kind. It's like slowly, fast, or hurriedly, so those are bravely. These are called adverbs, which talks about what kind of work, in which way the work was done. So these are the describing words for verb. These are the describing words for nouns. They describe nouns. Adjective, if they describe verbs, adverbs. So pronouns are the words that come in place of noun. When you repeat the nouns again and again, you put pronouns in their place. So these are the set of words that can come in place of many nouns. There are different names for different things, but pronouns are same for all the male, masculine. There is his, him. So for his, for all the feminine, there is she, her, and so this is how it goes for pronouns. So these are the few words that you can use in place of nouns. And conjunctions are joining words like and, or, but. So these words join sentences and words. So they are called conjunctions. I went home and I played football. So it's like joining two sentences. So preposition are words that tells your position: at, on, in, under, above, over, below. These are the words that tells where something is. It's a position word which tells us the position of things and people. So interjection are the words that show strong feelings: wow, hooray, bravo, alas. So these are the 8 types of words that are there in English. And then we did some exercise. Was shouting is verb, loudly is adverb. It tells us about the verb, describing the verb, adverb. Raja, noun. Hooray, interjection. I, pronoun. Orange is an adjective. When it is a color, it is adjective. When it is a fruit, it is noun, right? So yes. So verb and conjunction. So this is how we did the exercises. And now then we talk about same exercise we did. We have to make column and write the nouns, pronouns, adjective, verbs, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjections. So if you haven't done these exercises, you can do them also, eh? But make sure you haven't done it before. If you have done it before, you will be not good. But you can still practice. You can still practice, because don't just listen to the things that I'm saying. It's what I'm saying here is to remind you of these things. So if you really want to know, you have to do these exercises. The kind of questions that will come in your evaluation, you need to practice them. So just don't rely, I have heard everything, I know everything. That won't help. You need to actually do and see how much you can do. Just listening won't help. Okay, after this we started nouns. So I have to go to nouns now. So nouns, there were 5 types of nouns. In class 4, there were only 2 types of nouns. In class 5, we studied about 5. There were not just proper and common nouns. There are other types of noun that we studied. Okay. So nouns. So there are 5 types of. This is pronoun. No. I'm not talking about this first. I'm talking about nouns. Where are nouns? Go. Okay, nouns. So common nouns, one name for many. Proper noun, one name for one thing, right? So boy is a common noun because all the boys have this one name. We call them boy. So one name for many, common. But Ranjan, Akash, this is one name for one. So it's a proper noun. That means one thing. And when I say Ranjan, you don't need to get confused. When I say boy, you get confused who it is. But so this
But one brother's name is Ranjan. I don't know.
So that means, but still it is a proper noun because that name is for him and you're, so I'm just saying these names are to be given to one thing. Sometimes it may be of two things, but when you put this proper noun, they are for one thing. Like boy is always for many. Boy,
Sir,
boy does not need to be, two people having boy name. If they are,
sir,
so these are common nouns. Yes, who is this?
Pratik sir,
Yes, Rosa.
sky, तिनीहरू कुन ऊ हो?
What?
Sam,
Sky.
अँ,
Sky can be taken as proper noun. It is a name of a thing which is different from anything else. So there is nothing that will come, when you say sky, there is no confusion. There is another sky or something like that. So you can take it as a proper. When you talk about air, I think it's material.
okay,
Is that okay?
okay. And space त्यस्तो नि.
Space, time. So this is the thing. If you talk about the idea of the space, because space is just an idea, no one can say, okay, take this, this is space or that. So you can take it as abstract noun also. If you talk about time and space as an idea and all that, it can be abstract noun. And sometimes space as a, space noun, it can be taken as a,
प्रतीक सर मेरो आफ्नै लिभ भएको है
प्रतीक सर
लिभ भयो भन्ने ऊ भन्नु
okay, सफलता. Okay.
मेरो केही गल्ती छैन है
प्रतीक सर तपाईको युट्युबको नाम के हो
I will share the link in math assignment group, or I'll send it to you in range and dome. I'll send it to you. Okay.
ओके सर
Material nouns are nouns which cannot be counted, right? The main thing about material noun is it cannot be counted. So you cannot say one gold, one water. So these kind of nouns have a different. For like boy, you can say one boy, two boy, one apple, two apple. You can say that, right? For this material noun, you can never say 1, 2, 3, 4. They are just wood, iron, so rice. You have to take help of some common noun to say one, like, one glass of water. Glass is common. So gold will be like one gold earring, gold necklace. So an earring, necklace, you have to take help of common nouns to say 1, 2, 3, 4 in this case. So wood also, same thing, plank of wood and all that. So collective noun is name of a group. Or one name given to whole group. There need to be many things in that group. So members of that group, as a whole, that group is called, given this collective noun. Right? Like you are class 5, right? Ranjan is not class 5. Sasbi is not class 5. But as a group, all of you, when you are together, we call you class 5. So this is how class 5 is a collective noun. It's not a name of one thing. It's name of one group. Okay. So when name is given to a group, we call them collective noun. And we don't use plural. Class 5s, no. Class 5, there is one class. There are many members of that class, but it is one thing. Right? So class 5 is good, not R. We don't take it as plural. It is one entity. So
क्लासहरू collective noun है.
yes, it's a name given to group. Yes. So there is many pride of lions, family or colony of bat, parliament of owl, company of parrot, army of soldiers, school of fishes. So these school, pride, family, these are collective nouns. And abstract nouns are name of ideas or processes. The name that is given to the things that we feel, that are not, but that is there inside us, in our understanding, it is there. So these kind of things are called abstract nouns, for which we cannot show anything. We cannot say this is love, this is hate. We just feel it and we understand it. So these are the nouns that is there in understanding, not in real material sense, like pencil, book. It's just there in our understanding only. So these nouns are called abstract nouns, which is truly based on human understanding. So then there are some exercises that we did where we have to find out common noun, proper noun, material noun, and underline the nouns and write their types, kind of exercise that we did. Maybe some of these will come in this kind of exercises will come in your evaluation. I'm sure one will come. So that is okay. And these are the exercises. Again, if you guys haven't done it, you can do it. I'm going to post it in YouTube. So don't worry. Don't need to take screenshot now. This video will be there. You can pause the video and do the exercises, the ones that you haven't done. Okay. I hope I am showing everything. Okay. Now, these are the exercises that Kanchan shared with us. And they are also interesting exercises. I've given token for them also. So you can do it from here also. They are common noun. They are just, interesting exercises. There are some nouns, collective nouns exercises. These are collective exercises. These are abstract noun exercises. And then we go to pronouns, substitute for nouns, right? For this, I need to go to the beginning. So pronouns are something that comes in place of nouns. There are 6 types of pronouns. When we generally say pronouns, it is just personal pronoun like I, you, we, something that we use for names. But there are 5 other types of pronoun, which is not very common for us. They are new concept for us. These 5 types of pronouns are very new. They also come in place of name. Like Renjen did his work himself. So this is pointing at Renjen. Renjen did his work himself, myself, herself. These are called reflexive pronoun, which points at the one who does the work. So somebody is doing themselves. So it's like there is a pronoun in the beginning of the sentence and you're pointing again to themselves. By saying themselves, you're pointing it to that pronoun. So we call it reflecting. Like mirror reflects you, these pronouns reflect back to what is in the beginning of the sentence or what we are talking about. So these are called reflexive pronoun. Possessive pronoun is the words that tells us whose goods are it, like my phone, my pencil. So when you talk about Costco, so these are called possessive pronouns, my, his, which tells us about the belonging of the things. And there is demonstrative, pointing out. Demonstrative means pointing out. That is a pen. This is a house. So, and interrogative pronouns are the pronouns that asks questions. Who?
Baba.
Who? And whom? What? Whose answer will be a noun. And relative pronouns are the pronouns where you tag along with some nouns. So relative pronouns, I'll explain it in detail. You can read these things. I'm scrolling down. You can read these things and get to know these things for yourself. And again, if you want to really know them, you need to do this exercise by understanding all those things. I'm just reminding you. I'm repeating this. I'm reminding you.
Sir, attendance.
Yes, I'm going to take it now. So relative pronouns are like this. The boy is my brother. He's wearing a red shirt. So I'm going to relate this boy to wearing a red shirt. The boy who is wearing a red shirt is my brother. So this is how relative pronoun connects. So I'm going to take your screenshot and take your attendance from the screenshot. Don't worry about it. Yes, you guys can leave the class now.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Yes.
Bye bye, everybody.
Did you take attendance?
Yes, yes, sir.
double check.
Okay, I'm going to check everything that
I
you're
send
saying
your
at 2
statements
o'clock.
or mathematics. What are we doing?
Nothing. Time up.
Oh, bye.
1 minute.